Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing another greatest song ever video. Put it out on my Instagram, like who would you like to see? I think I put up like Linkin Park and Breaking Benjamin. Everyone wanted Linkin Park, and then other people kind of like advised or said or suggested maybe do I Prevail, maybe do Bring Me the Horizon. If people want that, I'll probably do that as well. But for today, we are just going to be doing the Linkin Park ones. Full disclosure, the last two Linkin Park albums which were released, what was it, One More Light and The Hunting Party, I wasn't massive fans of. I've listened to it through recently just to see if I've like missed out on any hidden gems. I've got like a couple in there which I think you would agree should be there. Most of the songs that I like have been from the early days. Don't be surprised that there's not some songs from like more recent times on there. If there's any songs that I've missed off, let me know down below. So the first matchup we've got is a very strong start actually. We've got One Step Closer versus Giving Up. Now Giving Up was great on Minutes to Midnight. I was actually there when they filmed the music video, just saying. It's my only flex I have in the music kind of world. You don't see me at all, but I was right at the back in in the O2. One Step Closer, I'm afraid, isn't going to win, but Giving Up, I think it's very unfortunate that that has come up straight away. It's actually my wife's favourite song from Linkin Park, but unfortunately it's not even getting out of the round of 32. One Step Closer wins there. Okay, No More Sorrow versus Crawling. These songs are both absolute bangers. The fact that they're meeting now is just annoying already. I like the build-up in No More Sorrow, I really do, but Crawling will always just like hit for me, just always will. I genuinely think that the winner of this whole bracket wars, unfortunately, which you might disagree with, is going to be from either Hybrid Theory or Meteora, but we'll have to wait and see, but it probably will be. So we're going to go with Crawling there. Waiting for the End versus Burn It Down. Now I like Waiting for the End, you know, the hardest part of ending is started again, and then that solo, really cool, but Burn It Down, one of their most recent songs, or I say recent, it's probably about nearly 10 years old, is going to go to Burn It Down. It's just a little bit more like rockier, and that's what I want there. Nobody Can Save Me versus Valentine's Day. Oh, Valentine's Day, once again, slow build up, but really does pay off eventually when you get into the chorus. Nobody Can Save Me is probably one of my favourite songs off One More Light, but I think Valentine's Day is going to have to go here. Go through, sorry, not go. Lost versus New Divide. This is a hard one because New Divide is a single, and I genuinely just think of it as like a Transformers song, and Lost has now obviously recently come out. It's fresh in the mind. It might be kind of like I prefer listening to that more now. But New Divide, whenever it comes on, is still a banger to me. So I am going to go with New Divide. One More Light versus Somewhere I Belong. Now I love Somewhere I Belong, and One More Light has a little bit more meaning to it now after obviously Chester unfortunately passed away. And I think One More Light definitely is a very powerful song. It's not a song I particularly go out of my way to listen to, but when I do listen to it, I kind of stop what I'm doing and I listen to it, I take it in and I experience it. But Somewhere I Belong is almost like one of the OG emotional songs that they brought out, so I'm gonna go with Somewhere I Belong. Points of Authority versus Breaking the Habit. Now, I like Points of Authority and I like Breaking the Habit, and I think Breaking the Habit is gonna have to win here. I always think about the music video. I'm always singing along to Breaking the Habit. I think Breaking the Habit is just, it's just that much stronger than Points of Authority for me. From the Inside versus Bleed It Out. Oh, God, this is hard. Yeah, from the inside, I'll bleed it out, get it deeper, just to throw it away. I'll bleed it out, dig it deeper, just to throw it away. And throw it all away. Oh, I don't know. From the Inside definitely screams out as the winner here. Bleed It Out is just a completely different song. It's hard to like to compare the two. Shine, going out and play down there with a shovel up. Bring that chorus in. Digging deeper, just to throw. Stop the show, choppy boy. Oh, they're two completely different vibes. They're two completely different vibes. I'm gonna go with From the Inside. Okay, I've just realised, I remember we do one side first and then the next. So One Step Closer versus Crawling. One Step Closer is going through just because of that guitar riff, just because of how angry it is, just because of just the whole song in general. Love that song, so that is definitely going through. Burn It Down versus Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day going through, the emotion gets me good. Somewhere I Belong versus New Divide. Somewhere I Belong. Again, New Divide's a banger, but Somewhere I Belong just gets me. Breaking the Habit From the Inside. Breaking the Habit is just going to go straight through there. This is... Okay, One Step Closer is going to have to go through for me, just because Hybrid Theory was their first ever album, and that is their kind of like core sound. Now, I've appreciated all their emotional stuff, I really do, and you know, we have some emotional songs which will be coming up on the other side of this like bracket war stuff, but I think One Step Closer has to get through, and it is one step closer to the final. Somewhere I Belong versus Breaking the Habit. Once again, Breaking the Habit is just going to go through. I can see the winner of this, unfortunately, being more of like a mainstream, generic kind of like favourite. It's not going to seem like a personal favourite to me. I don't know. One Step Closer is. One Step Closer is. And I think it is going to go through. Breaking the Habit, you did well. You did really well. But I think for me personally, actually, One Step Closer wins it. Okay, so now, just been going on about how much of like a core sound I appreciate over like the emotional side. However, Leave Out All the Rest hits different for me on a personal level. I've always said that if I was to ever die, Leave Out All the Rest would be played at my funeral. So that is definitely going to be going through. Skin to Bone versus In My Remains, 2 songs off of Living Things. And in all honesty, I can't remember the difference between the two. I remember Skin to Bone actually. I like the intro to Skin to Bone. Now this bit, I like that Skin to Bone. I like a lot of the electric stuff of Skin to Bone. So that is a possibility, but I don't think it goes that hard for me. There's a lot of like, that kind of stuff. Yeah, like that bit there. Nah. I already know In My Remains goes through. When it hits that chorus, oh my God, I just want to like sing it. So that is 100% going through In My Remains. The Messenger verse Numb. I mean, Numb's going through. Let's just all agree that's going through. But The Messenger, it's almost like One More Light, where I have to just sit down, take it all in, especially after like everything that's happened. So big, like, you know, props to The Messenger, but Numb is always going to be going through, I'm sorry. In Pieces versus In the End going through straight away, but In Pieces, another solid song. I actually realised when I was going through all of these songs the other day, just to kind of pick and choose which ones are going through, how much Minutes to Midnight was actually a really good album. I've always just put Meteora and Hybrid Theory as the OG best ones, but I think Minutes to Midnight was their peak, like where they started to mature and change. And then after that, they kind of fell off a little bit in regards to albums, not singles. Minutes to Midnight, I have like a newfound respect for, but In the End is always going to be going through. Don't Stay versus Paper Cut. Now, I know how Paper Cut goes, and I know how Don't Stay goes, but see, I love the riff with Don't Stay. This bit here, oh, and then when it goes into the riff, I really like that one. I really like that one. What's the other one? I've completely forgotten. Paper Cut. Nah, Paper Cut, just for that palm muted guitar throughout. I'm sorry, but it's true. Heavy versus Final Masquerade. Now this is interesting because when Heavy first came out as a single, everyone was like, what the f is this? This isn't Linkin Park. It definitely has got that pop sound, and I think it does have that mainstream effect as well, so I kind of get it. Final Masquerade, however, is a song that I listened to the other day, and I realised I actually had heard it before. The Hunting Party was not completely skipped for me, and I actually do like it. It comes up a lot in my shuffles. Yeah, I think Final Masquerade's going to be going through here. Sorry, not sorry. Let's carry on. Lost in the Echo versus Hit the Floor. Sick, but I actually quite like Lost in the Echo. It definitely stands out on the whole Living Things album for me, and it definitely shows off, I think, a lot more of like his cleaner side. I'm gonna go with Lost in the Echo. That might be a little bit controversial there, but Lost in the Echo I think deserves to go through. It's one of the standout songs on the album when Hit the Floor isn't, if you know what I mean. Faint versus What I've Done. Oh my God. This is hard actually, because I really like Faint, I really do, and What I've Done, I listen to this song more watching Instagram reels of Transformers memes than I do actually listen to Spotify. Maybe that's why it shouldn't go through, because I don't actually go out my way to listen to it, but when it does come on, I listen. Faint is just something else though, isn't it? Like the music video's sick, the guitar riff is sick, it's just got everything in it. There's been so many covers of Faint as well, like it is just one of them top-notch like Linkin Park songs. It's a bit unfair for What I've Done to go out in the round of 32, but I think Faint's gonna have to go through here, I am sorry. All right, round of 16 on the next side. My stomach is making loads of noises, so let me just get some water real quick. Leave Out All the Rest versus In My Remains. Leave Out All the Rest is going through just because it's a, you know, funeral song. Now this is where one of these songs could end up in the final, I think. Round of 16 is quite tough. In the End was the first ever Linkin Park song I actually heard. I remember thinking, oh, I don't like this, it's rappy, blah, 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 blah. This was like when I was, I mean, what, this song nearly came out, what? Over 20 years ago, wasn't it? God, I must have been about 8, younger? Probably younger. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this. Then I realised I do like it. I love, you know, all the memes to it as well. In the End, it doesn't really matter. I can't even talk, so I don't know why I'm trying to say that. But Numb. Every time Numb comes on, I have to just listen to it. I think Numb's gonna have to go through, but in the end, on a different day, on a different randomizer, could have turned up in the final. Paper Cut versus Final Masquerade. Final Masquerade was good, but this is the final spot that Masquerade is gonna be in, so Paper Cut is definitely going through, unfortunately for them. Lost in the Echo versus Faint. Once again, Faint is going through. Leave Out All the Rest versus Numb. Now Numb, once again, OG emotional song. Leave Out All the Rest. I've got to leave you here because Numb is going through 100%. Paper Cut versus Faint. Faint is going through as well. You did well, Paper Cut, but I think Faint just takes it to another level. Oh my God, I know, oh my God. If I look at the semi-final on the other side, clearly Meteora was my favourite album, because in the semi-finals I've got Breaking the Habit, Faint and Numb, and then One Step Closer is the only one from the first album that is still surviving. But I wouldn't change it. I think One Step Closer was better than Breaking the Habit, but we come down to this, Numb versus Faint. Numb has definitely more traction, definitely more popular. A lot more people can enjoy it, but this is for me, obviously. I'm just talking. Let's have a little cheeky Faint. The drums coming in. Numb. Once again, sick intro. You see, you think about all of like the clean side of Numb, but at the same time, they do have the chuggy guitar riffs in it as well. And it's obviously a lot slower than Faint. The pacing of these two songs are completely different. This is hard. I don't even want to get to the final, because the finals will be bloody harder. I'm gonna have to go with Numb. I'm gonna have to go with Numb. And now here we are. One Step Closer versus Numb. The guitar riff on its own in One Step Closer, just like sick. It's the first experience I think I ever really had with like a breakdown when I was younger as well. Like you think about like breakdowns now, like One Step Closer was probably one of the first ones to kind of like get in there and do it. One Step Closer. One Step Closer. I want you to tell me, out of the two, which one would you have gone with? Numb is really good. Really good, it has a good message to it. I think all generations can listen to it, enjoy it. But we're looking at new metal gods here. One Step Closer is the song that people wish that they were making again when they were releasing all their older albums. Like Numb was good, but I think Numb like moved them into a direction that people weren't always enjoying as much. They wanted the dirty guitar riffs, the or not even the gentle, but the heavy kind of like rapping, the screaming. They wanted all of that. But they went a different path, and I'm gonna go with One Step Closer. I'm sorry, One Step Closer is winning it for me. And it's interesting because I feel like One Step Closer had the easier side. If you look here, you know, Hybrid Theory just kind of like smashed through, Meteora smashed through. In fact, Minutes to Midnight got through to the quarterfinals in 1 and 2 goes. But that's it. In fact, actually, it's the first 3 albums, which a lot of people would agree with was the best Linkin Park time, the best era. I know Hunting Party came out with a lot more kind of like heavier screaming and stuff, but I think they kind of lost it then. It didn't really sound as good as it used to be. There we go, One Step Closer. Took a pretty easy way to the final. Let everyone else do all of the hard stuff, but did eventually come out on top. I think I'm happy with that. I hope you guys are happy with that as well. I think I've done pretty well there. I think I have. If there's any songs, once again, as I said, that I didn't put in, which you think should have been in there, let me know. Maybe it was on one of the newer albums and I probably didn't give it a chance. I'd be interested to know that. I will see you in the next one real soon. I'm probably going to try and do a couple more of these. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you later. See you next time. Goodbye. You know, all the memes to it as well. In the end, it doesn't really matter. I can't even fucking talk, so I don't know why I'm trying to say that.